People are aware of the problems that we've created, like climate change, loss of biodiversity.
Jane Goodall, the pioneering primatologist, conservationist, and activist who transformed humanity's understanding of the natural world, has died at the age of 91. The Jane Goodall Institute announced her passing on October 1, 2025, marking the end of an era for science, conservation, and global activism. For more than 6 decades, Goodall's name became synonymous with chimpanzees, the African wilderness, and the urgent call to protect life on Earth. Born in London on April 3, 1934, Goodall carried a fascination with animals from her earliest days. As a child, she spent hours quietly observing wildlife, driven by a curiosity that never waned. At just 4 years old, she disappeared into a henhouse for 5 hours, patiently watching a hen lay an egg while her frantic family searched for her. Her most cherished childhood possession was a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee, which she carried with her into adulthood and often credited with sparking her lifelong love for primates. By the age of 8, she was already dreaming of Africa, of living among wild animals, and of dedicating her life to understanding them. In 1957, after working as a secretary and waitress to save money, Goodall journeyed to Kenya to visit a friend's farm. That trip altered the course of her life. She met the famed paleoanthropologist Louis Leakey, who was struck by her passion and unusual perspective. Though she lacked formal scientific training, Leakey saw in Goodall the qualities he believed essential for groundbreaking research: patience, resilience, and an open mind unshaped by rigid academic thinking. He hired her as his assistant but soon had larger plans. He wanted her to study wild chimpanzees in hopes of uncovering insights into the origins of human behavior. In 1960, Goodall arrived in the Gombe Stream National Park in Tanzania with her mother, Van, who accompanied her to help ease the concerns of British authorities about a young woman living alone in the bush. Day after day, Jane trekked into the forests at dawn, facing rain, treacherous terrain, and endless waiting. For months, she watched the chimpanzees only from afar, the animals fleeing at the sight of her. Yet her persistence paid off. By wearing the same dull-colored clothes, avoiding sudden movements, and showing remarkable patience, she gained their trust. The breakthrough came when David Grayboard, one of the first chimpanzees to accept her presence, calmly continued his activities despite her proximity. Later, she witnessed him stripping leaves from a twig and using it to fish termites out of a mound. It was a revelation. Tool use, once thought to separate humans from all other animals, was alive in the chimpanzee world. Now we must redefine tool, redefine man, or accept chimpanzees as human, Louis Leakey famously wrote after hearing of her discovery. Her approach defied the scientific conventions of her time. Rather than assigning numbers to the chimpanzees, she gave them names: David Grayboard, Flo, Fifi, Goliath, and others, and described their personalities, emotions, and social bonds. Many in the academic world accused her of anthropomorphism, but her meticulous records and groundbreaking observations proved undeniable. Her work revealed chimpanzees as complex beings who made tools, experienced grief, demonstrated empathy, waged war, and shared tender bonds not unlike human families. Goodall chronicled her early years at Gombe in the Shadow of Man, a book that became both a scientific milestone and a bestseller. David Hamburg of Stanford University hailed it as a piece of research that changes man's view of himself. Through her writings, lectures, and later documentaries, she brought the wonders of chimpanzee life into the living rooms of people across the world, igniting public fascination and concern for the natural world. But her mission expanded far beyond research. By the 1980s, Goodall had shifted from pure science to activism, recognizing that the survival of chimpanzees and their habitats was under dire threat from deforestation, poaching, and the bushmeat trade. In 1977, she founded the Jane Goodall Institute, dedicated to conservation and community-centered approaches to protecting nature. In 1991, she launched Roots and Shoots, a global youth program that now spans more than 65 countries, empowering young people to take action for people, animals, and the environment. Her voice became one of the most recognized in global conservation. She addressed the United Nations, met with world leaders, and tirelessly traveled the globe, often more than 300 days a year, sharing stories of the chimpanzees she loved and urging humanity to live in greater harmony with the earth. She spoke not only of conservation but also of compassion, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all living beings. Goodall also lent her influence to climate change activism, animal welfare campaigns, and indigenous rights, always grounding her advocacy in a message of hope. She believed deeply in the power of individual actions to create collective change. Even in her later years, with her health slowing her relentless schedule, she continued to inspire millions through virtual talks, interviews, and writings. Her legacy extends beyond science and activism. She embodied resilience, empathy, and unwavering optimism. She showed the world that rigorous observation and profound compassion could coexist in science. She gave humanity not only a new understanding of chimpanzees but also a mirror through which to reconsider its own place in the natural order. Jane Goodall's passing leaves a profound void, but her influence will endure in the forests of Tanzania, in the lives of the countless young conservationists she inspired, and in the global movement she helped ignite. From the little girl who sat for hours in a henhouse to the woman who became the world's leading primatologist, her life was a testament to the power of curiosity, courage, and love for the living world. She is survived by her global family of colleagues, students, and millions of admirers who will continue the mission she began. Though her voice has fallen silent, the echoes of her call to protect this fragile earth will resound for generations to come.